Video games are all about transporting players to magical realms that bridge the gap between fiction and reality, and technology has helped developers realize those ambitions better than ever before. Modern game engines allow teams to craft realistic weather conditions, including, but not limited to, snow-capped environments. Some games do an excellent job in this regard and present their striking environments with stunning snow effects that don't look all too different from real life. To that end, we present 10 of the best games that feature realistic snow effects. We'll not only be talking about the visual elements of snow, but also discuss the gameplay ramifications of these snow effects. Forza Horizon 4 in winter season.
Don't go anywhere. Horizon is here to stay.
Playground Games has established its reputation as a developer with a penchant for delivering games that consistently hit a high level of visual fidelity, and its premier franchise, Forza Horizon, is emblematic of those very strengths. Right from the environments to the car models and weather effects, Forza Horizon impresses with its striking attention to detail. Take for instance Forza Horizon 4, where seasonal changes can dramatically impact the visual and gameplay feel of the experience by a significant margin. The snow rendering is a particular highlight in this game, which not only looks great with proper terrain deformation when skirting along snow, but also can cause your car to slip and slide in a realistic fashion, which adds a level of mechanical tension to the gameplay proceedings. SnowRunner. As the name suggests, SnowRunner is all about delivering packages against the backdrop of unfavorable, frigid conditions. Players get to commandeer huge trucks with a strong simulation-style driving model that requires you to be mindful of your surroundings to have a shot at success. The level of attention to the simulation also extends to the environments, and SnowRunner features advanced terrain deformation mechanics that make trudging through snow-infested roads and icy lakes a pretty realistic experience. Add to that some gorgeous visuals, and SnowRunner looks like an absolute treat with its impressive weather effects. Death Stranding. Much like SnowRunner, as we discussed previously, Death Stranding's brand of gameplay revolves around carrying parcels in a post-apocalyptic environment, all while dangerous BTs roam the world. After getting some way through the campaign, players will be able to unlock Mountain Knot City, wherein we get to see a number of snow-covered peaks that must be conquered to complete story-critical deliveries. Snow looks appropriately thick, and snowstorms feature an impressive number of particle effects. Of course, traversing through snow is a lot harder, and the thick terrain can quickly eat up your stamina or the batteries of your exoskeleton attachments, if you have any. Steep. Steep is all about snowboarding and skiing against the backdrop of picturesque mountains covered in snow. The terrain works in a realistic fashion, and different movements and boards cause visible differences in the deformation of the snow. Between this and the very impressive particle effects, snow looks really good in action. In addition to this, the snow also produces realistic crackling sounds, which rounds out the excellent visual presentation of it all. The Last of Us Part 1. The Last of Us Part 1 continues to be one of the most emotionally charged narratives told in the medium of video games, and this recent remake does a great job of updating the game's visuals up to modern AAA standards. As such, the world looks a lot more realistic than before, which includes, but is not limited to, the snow that we see in certain parts of the story. Terrain deformation works in an appropriate manner. Fine dusts of snow can be seen dancing to the tune of the winds, and snow particles can also look pretty dense, which coalesce to make it so good.
What is this place?
Horizon Forbidden West.
This distress call had to be up a really steep mountain, huh?
Horizon Forbidden West takes what worked in the original and expands upon those foundations in interesting ways. The game has seen a ton of improvements in almost every aspect of the gameplay and presentation, including but not limited to the snow effects. In addition to some detailed terrain deformation, you can make out flakes of snow sticking to Aloy's armor. The density of the stacked snow also changes, so the buildup might be a lot more rapid during snowstorms when compared to other situations. Days Gone. Days Gone might not have been the zombie game that fans expected, but it definitely has a few merits that deserve to be appreciated on its own terms. One of these is the way that the game handles its real-time weather changes. Players don't just see a static snow-covered environment, as you would in most games, but the snow gradually alters the environment in a realistic fashion. Snowfall causes snow to slowly accumulate on surfaces like roads and trees, and new snow particles layer on top of one another until the entire area is covered in snow. In addition to this, handling your bike also changes slightly when it snows, and you are more likely to skid and fall off during these weather conditions. God of War Ragnarok.
There! What's this? Look out! The trees! They're coming down! That was too close.
Ragnarok is an excellent combination of an engaging story paired with heart-pounding action, and the sequel stands tall as one of the best-looking games on the market. Considering the fact that the game takes place in Fimbulwinter, it's no surprise that Ragnarok pays a ton of attention to the snow effects. The terrain deformation is highly sophisticated, so rolling in the snow causes different deformation than if you simply walk over it. And if you do a roll through the snow-covered ground, flakes of snow can be seen all over Kratos' body. It doesn't really impact the gameplay in a radical sense, but it definitely looks superb nevertheless. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is an excellent sequel that smartly builds upon the ideas laid down by the original. The systemic gameplay that defined Breath of the Wild can be seen in full force with the sequel, including but not limited to the amazing weather effects. While the snow and ice seen in the game don't look as lifelike owing to its cartoonish art style, it functions in a rather realistic manner. Walking through the snow will result in proper terrain deformation, and you can melt the ice by starting a bonfire, or equipping a heat-based weapon. Gears 5. Gears 5 is an action-heavy romp through the frigid world of Sarah, and much like its predecessors, the Coalition has paid a ton of attention to the visual elements of the experience as well. The snow looks really good thanks to generous use of high-quality particle effects, and terrain deformation is achieved through some sophisticated techniques as well. Many firefights take place over frozen lakes and ponds, and players can actually break the ice beneath an enemy's feet to instantly send them to their chilly grave. And that brings us to the end of the video. A quick request: we upload new videos every single day, and if you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing. It really helps us out. Also, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon so that you can receive daily video updates. Thanks for watching.